This is Valley News Live at noon.
We have multiple breaking news stories this afternoon. First, a major crash along the interstate backs up traffic in Moorhead. Here is a look at that wreck right there. You see emergency responders trying to clear the situation. It happened just after 10 this morning. Our crew at the scene says it happened between Highway 336 and the 34th Street exit. An ambulance was then spotted rushing people from that scene. Also breaking this afternoon is a multi-vehicle crash in Wilkin County. Scanner traffic indicates it's eastbound along I-94. We do have questions into the State Patrol to learn more about that crash. And we have more breaking news. An autopsy is underway on a body found floating in Lake Bemidji. The Beltrami County Sheriff's Department says DNR notified them of the body floating near Lake Boulevard yesterday. Authorities say there are no obvious signs of trauma to the man. His body was taken to an examiner for an autopsy and identification. It is going to be heating up outside, but take a look at those clouds right now on our Devil's Lake Skycam. They look like a storm a-brewing there. Let's head on over to Lisa Green this afternoon for a check. Good afternoon, Lisa.
Good afternoon. With that warmer air moving in, we are cooking up some thunderstorms here in Devil's Lake. We've got one just on our doorstep. Here's a look at the radar. One larger cluster here of thunderstorm activity that's been moving through the northern valley, and then some areas of scattered rain that have ramped up into some thunderstorms as well that we're going to be tracking. Up to the north, first of all, this line has continued to produce a decent amount of lightning here, and that one is driving eastward. So we'll take off the lightning data. We're looking at the heavy rain moving toward Langdon, the Edmore area currently getting hit, but also Devil's Lake. One storm just west of you, so you're about to get a thunderstorm rolling through town here shortly, and then just south of the lake as well, seeing a cell that's been amplifying too. So this is all, again, going from west to east. Not severe. There is the potential we might see some small hail, but switching over to our hail size estimate data here, I'm not seeing any detection of hail right now, so that's a good sign. And looking a little farther south, there's a storm making its way into Carrington. We've seen some rain in Jamestown and other activity we're keeping an eye on west from there. So these thunderstorms are going to make their way through. Of course, clouds on the increase with them as well. And this is just kind of round one. We're looking at the threat for stormy activity, some isolated to scattered rounds of it here this afternoon. Later tonight, it gets a little more intense, any storms that develop. We're looking at after dinner time and into the late night hours. We're under a severe or slight risk here for tonight. It includes Grand Forks and Fargo, a lot of the Red River Valley here. The risk drops off heading eastward into Minnesota, but we're looking at the potential for some large hail and some damaging wind gusts being our greatest threat, and it could be while you're sleeping. So you want to make sure you have a way to be alerted to the severe weather for tonight. And I'm going to time this out for you coming up in just a couple of minutes. And oh yeah, we've got that heat wave coming. First alert weather day for Friday with that hazard moving in after we see these storms. So a lot to talk about.
But wait, there's more.
Yes.
All right, Lisa, thank you. New for you at noon, a Moorhead man accused of sexually assaulting a young girl has now been charged in Clay County Court. 60-year-old Dennis Gomez faces one count of first-degree criminal sexual conduct. The victim told investigators that Gomez assaulted her when she was 8 or 9 years old. Court documents say Gomez told the victim to take off her clothes. When she refused and tried to walk away, he allegedly threw her on a couch and then sexually assaulted her. The victim says Gomez told her not to tell anyone or he would hurt her or her siblings. Gomez declined to speak with detectives about these claims. Also new at noon, 2 men are under arrest after authorities say an argument got way out of hand and that a pellet rifle got involved. Police say they were called to an apartment in the 900 block of 42nd Street South in Fargo for reports of gunfire around 4:20 this morning. Officials say an argument got out of control and the people took it outside. That's when a pellet rifle got fired into the air 4 times. Police say 25-year-old Diraj Munger fired the gun in the air. Then authorities say 23-year-old Man Galay took the pellet gun and fired it toward 2 people. No one was hurt. These 2 are now held for terrorizing and reckless endangerment. We are still waiting to hear more about a search for a child in Richland County, North Dakota. Firefighters in Colfax confirmed there was a search for a missing child overnight and early this morning. Scanner traffic indicated multiple area fire departments were called out to help. We are not able to confirm if it's over yet and what the outcome was, but we are working to get those details. City leaders are meeting this afternoon with Fargo's police chief to talk about the department's policies and procedures regarding critical incidents. This comes after that deadly officer-involved shooting last week. The meeting is from 5 to 6 at the City Commission chambers. We will be streaming that meeting. You can find it on our website or that free VNL News app. It was a scary situation at the Sorley Bridge when authorities say a man climbed to the top of it. Police say they were sent to that bridge around 6 this morning for a man standing on top of the arches. When police got there, they shut down traffic and eventually were able to talk to the man. The man did come down with help from that fire engine bucket you see right there. He was then checked over by paramedics. No charges are expected. Traffic is now back open. President Joe Biden received Israel's Medal of Honor, which is that country's highest civilian honor. The president is also using the visit to assure Israel that the U.S. will not allow Iran to develop a nuclear weapon. But the countries can't agree on the best way to go about that. President Biden says he wants to continue to work to bring Iran back to the negotiating table to find a peaceful resolution to end their nuclear weapons program. But the Israelis say that won't work.
If they continue to develop their nuclear program, the free world will use force.
President Biden told Israeli TV that all options are on the table. Tomorrow, he heads to Saudi Arabia to meet with the country's king and crown prince. The president says he will raise concerns about the country's human rights practices, as well as discussing what can be done to bring down those rising gas prices. Someone is now $50,000 richer after a Powerball win from a Moorhead ticket. The Minnesota Lottery says someone bought that lucky ticket from the Main Avenue Hornbachers. The winning ticket matched 4 of the first 5 numbers. If you won that winning ticket, we'd love to hear from you. Reach out on our VNL Facebook page. Coming up at noon, paying more to live. The cost of everyday items are now hitting record highs, and it's something we haven't seen in decades. But next, we're talking about some storms for later today. Right now, some are even moving through. Take a look at our Skycam. Lisa Green is tracking it all right after this.